Welcome, friends. I'm Gina Nicole, and this is the Goddess Channel. And what's interesting is Reiki has come in for you today in this channeled message. And my background is in Reiki. It's where I had my first spiritual awakening. So this is really near and dear to my heart. And I'm transmitting energy for you right now using distant Reiki. For those of you who have done Reiki level 2, you know what I'm talking about. But for those of you who haven't, just allow yourself to receive this. Your higher self, as I always say in these messages, is always going to discern what energy is for you, what is not. You're going to receive into your energy field what is for you. And anything else will just float right by or actually be reserved for you for when you can receive it. So no energy is ever lost, but it's also never invasive. So just know that you'll receive whatever is for your best and highest good today as this is transmitted for you. And also just the way I work as a channel, I use whatever modality comes to me in the moment, whatever spirit wants to send through me, that's what's going to come through. So you may hear me talking about angels or ascended masters or healings or like gemstones or flowers or colors. Like for me, whether it's a message coming through, whether it's a vision or healing or whatever it is, I just let spirit work through me however they want. And maybe it's my Gemini rising where it's always a new experience, but just relax, enjoy, and I have no idea if there's even a message here for us today, but we'll just see what comes through as the energy is channeled for you. What they are bringing through is a purple energy. And they're really showing it as violet, like an ultraviolet, which is my favorite. And so it feels like it's coming through the crown chakra. And just really, the word they're using is elevating all of the chakras into a new alignment. That's interesting. Okay. Just allowing this beautiful purple, and they're showing me a deep purple, and they're showing me an ultraviolet, which is really interesting because, as you know, this is my channel color. But what they're emphasizing here as I say those words is this is for the community. So if you're a member of this community, you listen to the videos, you can add your energy by leaving a comment or liking or subscribing or whatever. However you can connect with this channel further, it's only going to deepen your integration with the messages, how they relate to you personally. So really the message that's coming through is this energy is very specific to the people listening to this video. That's what's coming through. They're showing me white flowers as well that almost look like daisies. And this is something that came through for me about, I want to say, a month ago as well. These very specific flowers, they look kind of like a daisy, but they feel a little bit not of this world. But what's interesting is as they're showing them to me today, they actually do feel of this world this time. Even though the first time I saw this flower, I was like, this doesn't exist on Earth. But now a month later, as they're showing me the same flower again, it does feel like it belongs on Earth. So what they're showing us is not only are we elevating our chakra system today, but we're actually elevating it to align with the current state of Mother Earth, the current alignment of Mother Earth energetically, where we're actually I'm just going to say this might sound over the top, but like this is the message that's coming through. We're actually in a different dimension now, and we've completed that shift. They're saying the shift will be fully completed by January 15th. So whenever you're listening to this, January 15th already happened because I'm recording this January 14th and I haven't put this out yet. So just know whenever you're listening to it, this is a timeless message, but that we've entered a different dimensional reality of Earth that's quite profound. And we've actually been able to, let me put it this way, many, many more of us are now aligned with Mother Earth in her higher dimensional alignment. Whereas we were like kind of not there before. We've made a very, very big shift in the period between 2024 and early 2025 is the message that's coming through, to where things that didn't seem possible or didn't seem normal or didn't seem of this world or didn't seem aligned, it's a whole new ball game here. They're showing clean slate energy, like we're really in a different reality now in the most blessed way possible. They're saying it's because of everyone's hearts joining together in this way. Those of us that are for the light, that are, way showers in this lifetime, all of us banding together and being really clear on what we're for, and that no matter what, no matter how we feel, no matter the hardships we may have in our life, no matter the struggles we might be facing, we are still endeavoring towards the light. And that energy has allowed us to be here today in this new dimensional reality where I'm sure many of you can feel the acceleration happening in consciousness. And we have allowed that to happen by putting our hearts and intentions in the right direction. Now our chakra systems are starting to finally get on board with that. You may have been experiencing quite a few symptoms over the past few months. And now, when we experience symptoms, and by the way, I am not a medical doctor, so if you're experiencing like an acute symptom, please go to a medical professional, whatever doctor you have. But on a spiritual perspective, when we have symptoms, it's oftentimes our body kind of having to go offline a little bit so we can integrate new energies. And it's not personal, it's not like you're not doing enough for your health or whatever. If you're experiencing symptoms, it's totally normal. But again, if you're experiencing something that feels like illness, doesn't feel okay in your body, whatever, please go to a medical professional. But again, this is all part of the process, these cycles, how we move through consciousness. This is all part of it. And so a lot of times, like I said, the body kind of has to go offline a little bit. And what I mean by that is the body has to kind of have its own purging process or slowing down process. It has to go into actually, this is really interesting point I've never heard that they're telling me, is it has to go into the parasympathetic where it can heal. So it will actually slow you down from being in your sympathetic nervous system. What I mean from that is it will make it so that like you can't stay in fight or flight, because then it's really difficult for the energy shift to happen in your body. So they're saying that is one of the reasons that you experience symptoms, is to slow the body down, but also to purge out what's no longer aligned. So that's a really interesting message. I appreciate that. They're showing healing energy going into your second chakra. And it's interesting because the second chakra, I'm just feeling as very round. Like they're showing me the laughing Buddha. I'm feeling the second chakra almost like a balloon. And that's really interesting. And they're saying we're creating spaciousness in the second chakra. And they're showing me a belly dancer too. They're saying like, the human body is miraculous. And anywhere we've corseted the second chakra, the third chakra, anywhere we've corseted that, and this is specifically for the divine feminine, we're releasing that now. So just letting that healing take place, where we're allowed to let our creative energy take up space. Wow. I love that. Whew. Unbinding here. And I would actually like you to participate in this healing vocally. So I'm going to ask you to say yes if you would like this healing in just a moment, but let me set it up. So anywhere that you have any contracts, vows, agreements, implants, bindings around having to corset yourself, constrict your second chakra energy, constrict your creativity, hold back, play small, be a smaller version of yourself, be a less expansive version of yourself, hold back your power, your creation in the world, and anything known or unknown, seen or unseen, even attached to those patterns. If you would like to complete all of those contracts, agreements, vows, implants, bindings now, say yes. Placing all of those contracts, vows, agreements, bindings, implants, and anything else known or unknown, seen or unseen attached to these patterns of holding oneself back, binding one's creativity, restricting one's creation force. Everything that is, we're placing it into the sacred flame now to be resolved in Creator Source Light. It is done, it is done, it is done. 3 times it is done, and so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That felt like a weight off my shoulders, and I felt angel wings coming in. So Creator, Spirit, your guides are just showing you here and now that you have an angelic presence as part of your beingness. And what I mean by that is what it takes to be in alignment with angelic energy, what it takes to be in alignment with the higher aspects of spirit. That's part of who you are. And whether you're on a path to, living out an angelic reality, earth angel is something you might identify with, or you might just identify, as I do, as a bridger of realms. And I've actually never said that word before. They literally just dropped that in, a bridger of realms. I often align with Fae and elemental energy. I align with angelic energy. I align with ascended master energy. I align with earth energy. So I align with parallel dimensional energy too. And we can go into that on another recording, but some of you may feel very strongly like you're one thing, and that might be totally on point for you. Like something we've seen a lot hashtagged as the chosen. You might feel like an earth-based energy that is called to elevate beyond this dimension, or you might find yourself as somebody that is connecting with a lot of different realms and frequencies, and they all feel deeply, deeply a part of your soul. So whatever it is, you don't have to label it. You don't even have to know what it is. There's so much about my own soul journey that I don't know, because I trust that if anything's a need to know, Spirit will bring it in front of my face. Okay? And so let's clear that too. Anywhere that you think because you don't know something about your soul journey, you don't know something about yourself, that somehow you're less than, or you're not spiritually in tuned, or whatever that is, trust that the next invitation for you is going to be put right in front of your face, whether it's making a cup of coffee or listening to someone like me channel messages to you, or, meeting someone on the street who just tells you something really profound out of the blue. Whatever it is, just trust that the process is actually inviting you into your highest evolution in every moment. Really trust that, because there were years of my life, like in childhood, I started having some spiritual experiences, but I didn't know, obviously, because as a child, you don't know that kind of thing. But then as I grew and became a teenager, I remember being in high school. Well, actually, even before that, I was 11 and I started going to church by myself in 6th grade, because it was right around the corner from my house, because I just wanted to connect with spirit. And so I was like, okay, I was raised Catholic. So I was like, okay, if I'm going to figure something out, I'm going to just go all the way and see if this is for me. And so I started going to church, Catholic church, every week. And I realized I felt nothing. And so I stopped studying Catholicism. My mother felt like she had failed as a mother at that time. Then she got over it. But I kept searching. And then my friend and I, when we were 13, 14, we saw the movie The Craft when it came out, and it was so cool. And I still love that movie, because even though it's totally silly, it actually was based on they consulted real pagans, real women that understood, witchcraft. And when I say witchcraft, I don't mean dark magic, trying to influence people and that type of thing. I mean working with the essence of our natural reality and connecting with that spirit that comes from the earth. And it was actually like a really wonderful experience to see, ooh, there's other things out there. And so I started studying, fairy Wicca and all different types of things, and just trying to find that connection to spirit that I was so desperately looking for. Like, it almost felt like my crown chakra was just closed, but I didn't even know what that was at the time. And so I started meditating, trying to connect with spirit guides, whatever. And then, like I said, fast forward, to 2009. And well, actually, I'll go back before that. I actually connected to my uncle in 2001, I want to say, around that time, in meditation. And I felt a message come through very strongly. So I could say that was something that really came through. In high school, as I was meditating and trying to connect to spirit guides, I was connecting to more like earthbound energies, so it didn't feel like the spiritual exaltation I was looking for. So as you can see, there's little dots along my path, but like I felt totally closed off. And I think the reason I'm telling you this whole story is because wherever you are, you're experiencing what you're experiencing for spiritual growth for a reason. If I could just channel like this on day one, I wouldn't have had the curiosity, the discovery, the endeavoring, the trust in the process. Like, none of that would have evolved for me. So it happened exactly how it did. And then in 2009, I started getting attuned to Reiki, and I went, all the way to teaching Reiki, and I volunteered at a Reiki clinic in San Francisco. Like, it was just really cool things happening at the time that allowed me to really open up. And that's when my intuition really opened. And then I started studying the Akashic records after Reiki. But it was because Spirit put it right in front of me. It wasn't that something was wrong or I wasn't following my path or whatever. Those things appeared to me because I kept taking steps forward toward what I wanted, toward connecting with Spirit, even though I didn't know how. I didn't know how it was going to evolve. I just kept trying. Woven in with that is studying astrology and tarot, anything I could get my hands on that felt expansive to connect with Spirit. That's what I did. And so for you, anywhere that you feel like you don't know enough, or you're not connected enough, or whatever that may be, I will invite you to just know that there are signs and messages and next steps that are going to be placed in front of you. You just keep doing you, and it's all good. And they're also bringing in a message that anywhere you feel like you're backpedaling or you're regressing, they're saying it's not that. In an upward spiral, which is the expansion of this universe, you can think of it as an ever upward expanding spiral. Notice that the nature of a spiral, if you drew an upward moving spiral on a piece of paper right now, that it's moving up, right? It's moving toward greater expansion, but it's still going round and round to revisit the same themes over and over again, just from a different perspective. So just know when you're feeling a sense of regression, there may be a lot of transits in your astrology that can point to this, where there's a lot of retrogrades happening in your chart, or transits that are challenging, or whatever. There's languages like astrology that we can look at and that point us in the right direction to understanding what's going on with us. But without even using those tools, we can sometimes feel like, oh, I didn't think I still had this feeling in me, or I didn't think I was going to go back to this behavior, or whatever it is. And they're just saying, you know what, that's okay. It's normal. It's actually part of the upward spiral of expansion. It's part of the journey, is revisiting the same themes and ideas, but from a different perspective that you were in the month before or the year before or 10 years before. So again, the message coming through very strongly today is any judgment that you have around your spiritual journey, it's okay. But just love yourself through that and notice, I may feel this judgment about myself, but it doesn't make it true. That's okay. And so we're just creating ease here. And I think that's why we're feeling such an expansion happening in the second chakra today. And this bright, deep energy coming through the crown. Because we're just kind of letting go of this element of judgment around our journeys, around knowing. And we're just being told, just keep endeavoring toward the light, toward what gives you life, and just keep taking one baby step at a time in that direction. And God will place whatever is here for you right in front of you. There will be an invitation to your next step, and it's called the now moment. And I'm going to do a whole video on this, so I'm not going to go further than that. But that's the message coming through for you today. So just receive this healing, this purification that's coming through with Reiki, with these guides. Thank you for being here today. This is such a beautiful reading, and I'm so honored to share it with you. It feels like we've covered a lot of scope, but it all feels very related. And it feels like I'm feeling the energy really soften here and really get light here. Wow. We're really starting to move into this new earth alignment. This is amazing. And like I said, when I'm recording this, we're just going through a pretty heavy few days where people were feeling like they were regressing a little bit and backtracking a little bit. So whenever this reading finds you, this just feels like a really profound shift. So thank you for your presence, because I couldn't channel this without a community to channel it for that was asking for these energies, on a higher self level. So I thank you for the privilege of being able to do this with you. And let's just breathe here. I'm going to end this reading shortly, but I just want to take this time for us to really just continue receiving the energy that's here for us. Again, they're showing me the dark purple, the light purple coming through, giving us sort of a color healing in the chakra system, elevating, purifying, expanding, and aligning us with Mother Earth as she is in the now moment. Wow, I can't tell you how much more lightened up our energy feels since we began this call. So wow, love this community. We're doing really, really beautiful work here. And I was going to say she, but who is she? Kuan Yin is here for us, and she's bringing through a gift for you, and it's a rose quartz stone. So if you have a rose quartz in your home, you may feel connected to it in the near future, maybe this week, or we can just let the energy of the rose quartz come in and wash over us as well. We don't need the physical stone. I just feel a real exuberance in the heart, an effervescence in the heart. So we're moving through that second chakra healing and clearing into a heart expansion here. And we're not bypassing the third chakra. If you've listened to my earlier videos, Spirit has been pointing to the even-numbered chakras as the more feminine chakras that need to be brought into balance with what they're calling the more masculine chakras. So all of that is just a balancing happening, continuing to happen here today. Again, we all have masculine and feminine presence and essence within us. And so we're just going to let this expand and expand and expand to bring a balance between the polarities so they stop being polarities and just start being a harmonic whole. And nothing to do for you. This is just happening on your behalf, Kuan Yin is saying. And so I just want you to know that they're saying this Reiki is going to continue on for the next 33 minutes. And so you may want to just be gentle with yourself during that time, but we're setting the intention that it's just going to integrate flawlessly and effortlessly without any, anything to be done on your part and without any sort of big, disturbance in your system. This is just happening, and they're saying it'll become integrated over the next few days to just make it gentle and simple for you. So I hope that you loved this reading, or not, but I really loved being here connecting with your energy today. So I thank you for your presence, and I love you very much.